Good morning. Spoilers. It's 4 minutes past 12. We've been live for 8 minutes, so we went live in the morning. So good morning still counts. Good morning. Welcome into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day, and this is a glassesless Bibby. Where's the spectacles, Bib?
Not wearing them on shows. Not wearing them on streams.
God damn. They suit you, to be fair. Naturally, the first thing I'm going to do is go in with banter, because especially when you called yourself, and he said it, not me. He said he's a member of the Specky Four Eyes Club. He said it, not me. So he went in with the banter. Naturally, I went in with some banter, but they suit you, so nice.
I know. As I said, I ordered some from Glasses Direct, but the frames were just way too small for my big fat head. So I had to go into Specsavers and just try like 50 different frames on to say, oh, okay, that suits me, that definitely doesn't suit me, that'll fit my fat head. And then it came with these ones. I'm very happy with them.
I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Viv or someone, when you said you got some glasses and they didn't fit your head. And someone put a picture and it was like, I don't know if it was like an old Sherlock Holmes or someone with like really small glasses lenses. I was pacing when I saw that one. Should have gone to Gamer Advantage. Well, that's
Do you know what? Yeah, I actually tried, but they are fucking well expensive. So the frames that I wanted were like 150 quid, which is already double the price of the ones that I've got here, bear in mind. And then I needed to put my prescription in as well, because just having glasses that have a blue tint on them, that's all well and good. However, it boosted the price to £230 for a pair of glasses with my prescription. I'm like, do you know what? I don't care if there's a discount code for it, because they are not shaving £200 off this. So yeah, Specsavers was the way to go. They're so expensive. Like, fair enough, they might do a job, but these actually do the job that I need them, which has my prescription on them. Just the prescription alone was 80 quid without any frames at Gamer Advantage. So if they wanted to, potentially sponsor the stream or something like that, then I obviously would have been able to do that. But there is no way that I'm spending like £250 on a pair of glasses. It's just not going to work.
So yeah, if you want to get your glasses, head to Gamer Advantage and use code WEST to save
about £3.
Nice.
But honestly, I did that was my first part of call, West. Obviously, because I don't know if you got a kickback or anything like that, but you was my first part of call to go in and have a look how much everything was, because there is a lot of nice frames on that website. I thought these might actually do the job. But there is, that kind of money. I will never part with that kind of money for a set of glasses ever.
I mean, you say that now. Now you're just getting into the world of glasses. Like in a few months' time, you'll be like, "Fuck this! I need some blue light Gamer Advantage code West spectacle." Nice. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure the fact that we don't just shit over West's corporate partnerships. Love you, West.
As I said, it was the first part of call. It's just regardless of the partnership, I need to look after the money. Like, I could have got 6 pairs for that. I just don't understand where the prescription of £80 coming for that in a market that is dominated by the likes of Specsavers. It just seems like an awful lot of money to be able to part with. But yeah, I mean,
that extra 80 quid comes from, well, basically it pays for West. He's put in the chat, and I just want to clarify this. West has put, bless you, I do get a kickback, but I give it to a visibility charity. Yes, he gives the kickback to the visibility charity, but the extra 80 quid goes to pay West to give money to the kickback. So yeah, just don't believe him. Do believe him. He's all right, I suppose. He's all right. Lake says, Baby Griffin in 5, 4, 3, 2, no. Sorry, terribly sorry. Welcome in, Phony.
Sorry.
Swoosh. Fucking hell, did you hear that? Swoosh. It's back in. Welcome in, dude. Good morning, you sexy beasts. I'll read. How you doing,
morning, Shagger.
Welcome in, everyone. If you don't know who we are, my name is Graham. This is Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. If we do say so ourselves, we are live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, where we go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.
Ish.
It
was still the morning.
Yeah, exactly. We went live at something past 11, so that's 10 a.m.-ish. I mean, 11 is the most 10 a.m.-ish that could exist, so nice. Unless you're early, but ain't no time for that. So yeah, we are live on Twitch, but the live stream is turned into a podcast, a video on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes and Spotify and Amazon Music and Google Play. There's lots of places where you can watch and listen to this podcast on demand, and a lot of people do that. Over 200,000 to be exact. So if you are watching this on Twitch, please do feel free to get involved. On behalf of all of those people that do watch and do listen on demand, we will be bringing you the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories, plus our thoughts and impressions and we want to hear your thoughts and impressions. And then your thoughts and impressions and our thoughts and impressions. That's kind of how the whole thing works. So if you're in the chat, please do feel free to get involved. Before we jump into the show, though, before we talk about that news, I want to give you a couple of reminders. First off, shout out to Gamer Advantage, our sponsor. No, I'm joking. This we're sponsors. banter, because we're talking about you get it. No, shout out to Astra, who do sponsor us and provide us with these beautiful headsets. Also, shout out to GT Omega, who are the providers of these chairs. Off topic, well, on topic, but off tangent. Thoughts on your GT Omega chair? The thing is. Stop for a second. We are provided with GT Omega chairs. We aren't provided with GT Omega opinions. Naturally, as people that do get kickbacks from GT Omega, it's understandable if you want to believe that all our opinions are going to be forced positives because we're trying to sell to earn for us. But that's not the way. That's not the way we roll. So I was just genuinely stopping to ask, say, thoughts on your Zio chair. Now you've had it for about a month or so. What are you thinking?
Again, it's quite difficult to be able to say it without sounding like you're trying to upsell it, but genuinely, like, I'd grown tired of the leather chairs, and we was obviously looking for something of this ilk, and then obviously GT Omega decided to make a proper office chair, and this is extremely comfortable. I mean, I should get Samantha to come in as well, because when I'm in the office, this is her office as well, so she sits on this. She wouldn't sit in this room on the leather chair. She doesn't like them. She has a fabric one as an office chair, but now we have this one in here. She uses this as her office now, and if that's not a testament, I don't know what is. But it's easily the best chair. I wish we had more for the office so we could sit in there with nice and comfy chairs as well. But I mean,
we do have the GT Omega Fabric XLs in the studio now, though. So that's
we do.
Nice. That's nice. Not in the office, but in the studio. So it's eventually every single chair that we have in the office, in the living rooms of our houses, around the dining tables, will all be GT Omega chairs. I'm gonna get some installed in the car, some like GT Omega bucket seats in the car. Let's go.
Yeah, they should make racing cockpits in these chairs. That'll be great.
Leather chairs equals bad for farts. I mean, there's also, I mean, technically, no chair is really great for farts because there's all sorts of ways. A leather chair, I mean, you can sit there and fart soup because it's got nowhere to go. Fabric chairs, you can squash it into the cushion so the next person that sits down on it just alleviates it like some form of storage whoopee cushion. Or these ones, because, I mean, you can't see it because my jackets and stuff are in the way of the back of this chair, but it has like this sort of see-through mesh. I think it's Wintex mesh is the name of it. I mean, that'd be like farting into a cheese grater. It's just gonna send it. Yeah, sieve. Yeah. So yeah, it's just I don't know. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend farting on any chair in particular. Not that I wouldn't not recommend farting, because you kind of have to do that. I mean, if you've watched our intros for the last few years, then Bibby definitely does that. Although we have doctored that. We have, I mean, fart washed Bibby's sins away from the intros of our streams for the benefit of new graphics, but still, yeah. So yeah, anyway, sorry, that wasn't meant to be a big old tangent about GT Mega chairs. I mean, I am very much happy to talk about GT Mega chairs, and we did get these provided, #ad, ! Spawn, or whatever the fucking things you've got to put on things these days are. We did get the chairs for free. So naturally, we are going to be positive towards them because of that. We do get a kickback when people buy them. So naturally, that will probably make us positive. But our opinions are our opinions. And my opinion is this chair is badass. And yeah, it's hype. Nice! My other opinion is that if you're a sub to the channel, you can get a prize next week. So next Monday will be the first Monday of the month. It will actually be the Tuesday, though, right? Because next Monday is a bank holiday or something like that.
Yeah, we said we was going to move it, didn't we? Because otherwise, it would be like the 17th or something, because we've got 2 Mondays in a row where we've got bank holidays, then a free week, and then the end of the month as well. So yeah, it would have been like the 17th of May or something like that, the way we would have been able to do it. So yeah, the 2nd of May, next Tuesday, is when we're going to be doing it.
Nice. So if you are a sub on the 2nd of May, you will be included in the loot drop. This month's loot drop, we haven't decided, but maybe it's a copy of Dead Island. Maybe it's the copy of Resident Evil that we couldn't even give away last time because Sam doesn't have a PlayStation. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
So it's WWE, wasn't it?
Oh, is that what it was? Oh, maybe
it was WWE.
Maybe we'll bring back the 3 choice, like do a Dead Island, do a WWE, do a Resident Evil kind of thing. The 3 games that we've the 3 new games that we've been playing recently.
Yeah.
Nice.
That sounds good. I like that.
Nice. I'm stuck in a tidal wave of ads, so I've missed the last hour or so. Unlooker.
Well, if you have an Amazon Prime, then you can get rid of that for free.
Yeah, get yourself an Amazon Prime subscription. Use Prime Video and get your postal stuff for free. And then an extra benefit is that you get ad-free viewing on twitch.tv/highscreen uploads by just throwing down your Prime sub each and every single month for free. Nice. And then you then get included in the loot drop where you can bag yourself a free game. I am on Amazon Prime. Make sure you link it then. Make sure you link it. I don't know if it's still the same thing. ! Prime. I've not used this for a million years, so it might be out of date. It's not even there. It's not even there.
I've moved my guitar up, by the way, so it's like next to my PC over there. But because it's in vocal range, it echoes through the guitar now. So every time, like I say, something quite loud, I can hear it like reverberating around the room. So I need to get rid of that. I need to put it somewhere else.
Let me try again. Prime. There we go. I don't know if that's actually the same link. I've not clicked on that link myself for years. Yeah, I think that's it. So link your Amazon Prime in your Twitch account and you get Twitch Prime, or Prime Gaming as it's called now. And you get a sub to one channel every month for free. So if you only watch one channel, which is Ice Cream Uploads naturally, then you get to sub to that channel forever for free, as long as you resub every month manually. It doesn't automatically re-roll like paid subs do. That's how they try to get out of it. They try to, if you don't use it, you lose it. So yeah, do it. There you go. You get yourself some ad-free viewer. Let's go, baby. Let's face it, it took me 100 years to sign up to Discord, so I'll have this sorted by the time the PS7 is out. We'll take it. Okay, we'll jump into the split screen then, so we can start to talk about video game news. The biggest story is that an insider suggests that PlayStation's showcase, we actually spoke about this about 4, 5, 6 weeks ago when it was first initially rumoured. But there is a PlayStation showcase happening in May. Suggested, but that's not confirmed. Obviously, take it with a pinch. We will kick off the show talking about that. Then, we've just been speaking about Dead Island a little bit. We'll talk about that as well, as Dead Island 2 players are frustrated with the game. Well, not entirely. They're just frustrated that the zombies keep spawning behind them. Nice. We'll talk about that. We'll then talk about Ubisoft, an article that was re-rolled from last week, and then we'll talk about Warzone 2 having server issues too. So 4 stories, complete array of content. But for now, Mr. Bibby, you ready for a PlayStation showcase?
Do you know what, Graham? Of course.
Nice.
Pregnant pals and nephew.
I loved it. It's great. Just enough time. Just enough time to get me pregnant. There we go. George Foster, even at The Gamer, says, insiders suggest PlayStation Showcase is happening in May. This also lines up with the rumours of a Mortal Kombat 12 reveal in May. So gaming insider Jeff Grubb has suggested that a PlayStation Showcase could happen towards the end of May, or at least before Summer Game Fest. Just to stop there, the rumours that we had initially, I think it was like the week before in June. So Summer Game Fest was always going to be before E3. The PlayStation Showcase was originally like teased at being first week of June, but could be end of May, even sooner. So I'll start back into the article again. So not counting State of Play showcases, which are usually smaller and focused on one game, it's been some time. Shit my pants. Phony! Thank you for the gifted sub to Swoosh. There you go. There's your ad-3 viewing before the PS7 comes out. Thank you very much, Phony, you absolute hero. Shout out to Phony as well, who was gifted the last 2 subs on the channel. He gifted Yuki on the weekend when we were playing. Oh, KP, Kick Punch 7 jump in and play some games, and Yuki was in the chat, so Phony threw down, and now Phony's throwing down again. I appreciate that, Phony. See that? See that? People looking out for other people, making sure the viewing experiences is great, whilst also looking out for Ice Cream Plus, make sure that the viewership's still great. I love you guys.
Best community. The best.
Get them right. Cheers, P. Honey. Love you very much. Back into the article. Yeah, so not counting State of Play showcases, which are usually smaller and focused on one game, it's been some time since we last had a big showcase of what PlayStation has in store for us in the coming years. The last showcase was towards the end of 2021 and gave us our first look at God of War Ragnarok. Imagine that. The last showcase was the first look at a game that came out last year. God damn. Alongside the reveal of the Knights of the Old Republic remake, alongside a few other surprises. We've not heard anything about a new PlayStation showcase in some time, but recent rumours have suggested that it could be coming sooner than we think and should be happening before Summer Game Fest. This rumour comes courtesy of Game Beats Jeff Grubb, not Jeff Beats Game Grubb, that's someone completely different, who said in a recent episode of Games Mess Mornings that he expects the showcase to happen in May, or at least before Summer Games Fest, which is scheduled for June the 8th. While talking about the upcoming gaming events, Grubb said, now, before Summer Game Fest, what I have listed here, the PlayStation Showcase, still here, that's coming. I'd probably safely say that's May at this point, but in general, I'm going to continue saying before Summer Game Fest, because that's the safest way of doing it. But yes, May. Maybe very, very early June.
Month.
Welcome in 12! Do check out 12 if you want like exceptional content, absolute wonderful banter, top level gameplay. Then there is other people, but if not, 12 is also there as well. I love you, 12. Love you, 12.
I don't.
It's just because he responded to something this morning where Lotus was like, I'm not going to be live, so I was like, fine, I'll stay watching 12 instead. Then he's like, do you know what? Your words can hurt, or something like that sort of gift. So.
You know what? Your tweet was the reason why I ended up going to find his Twitch. I thought I was already following the account, but because of that tweet, I thought, do you know what? I'll make a conscious effort to go and get myself lost in his channel somewhere. I regretted it.
Yeah, understandable. Likely story. No, it's a pretty likely story. I mean, what's unlikely is someone going to follow 12. So it's an unlikely story. Again, I'm only joking. Do follow 12. He's all right. Fine. He's all right. Yeah? Go on. Nice. Love you, 12. You're beautiful. Very nice, man. Where did we get to? Oh, yeah, there we go. But yes, May. Maybe very, very early June. That seems like the right time to get that PlayStation showcase. End quote from Jeff Grubb. Although the last PS showcase was in September, it'd make more sense for the PlayStation to hold it a little earlier this year, as one of its major releases of 2023, Spider-Man 2, is seemingly targeting September as its release month. We're yet to see anything major on the game, so it makes sense that Sony includes it as one of the focuses of the showcase, similar to what it previously did with God of War Ragnarok. Interestingly, this lines up with a recent rumour that suggests that we might be getting a Mortal Kombat 12 reveal in May. Just a few days ago, Windows Central's Jez Corden suggested that we'd be hearing more about the game next month, which would mean May. Considering the size of Mortal Kombat 12, it would make sense if it featured as one of the big surprises at the show. And other people backed it up and stuff nice. Do feel free to check out the article over at The Gamer, written by George Foster. Insiders suggest that a PlayStation showcase is happening in May. Does that seem likely to you, babe?
I don't see why not. Like you said, it's been a long time since we've seen one, and it would be relatively timed towards E3, right? If E3 was still going ahead.
What having it late May?
Yeah, so having it around any time around May would either be obviously before or after E3. So it would be conveniently timed had E3 have still been going ahead.
Yeah, exactly. But so
obviously
E3 was, I think it was due to start on the 13th of June. No, it definitely was, because that's when I'm going away. So it was same day, like starting kind of thing. So yeah, late May, early June is the same thing. It's basically Jeff Keighley and Jeff Keighley. So Jeff Keighley's looked at E3, 13th of June. Okay, well, I'll go for the 8th of June for Summer Game Fest. So PlayStation are going, okay, we'll go for the 1st of June or the end of May. So the Jeff Keighley with the usurping and jumping the gun, getting there first. So yeah, it definitely would have been not a coincidence that it's in that window. Early summer is the perfect window to have a 2 to 3 month marketing campaign and then build up to parents and people, not just parents, but parents is always the analogy that I go with because it's old school, but parents to buy games for their kids for Christmas. It's always that case of you start talking about it in May, the parents might not see it, but then by the time you've gone through May, June, July, and August, you're into that September, October, November window where parents are going, okay, what should we start getting for Christmas? And then they've gone, I keep seeing this Spider-Man, this God of War, this whatever. Yeah. So yeah, it would be no coincidence that it's definitely in that E3 window.
Well, there would be, yeah, this would be the time where they're starting to write down these things and they go, okay, we're waiting for Prime Day, we're waiting for Black Friday, see if we can try and get any of these items that I've got on a list for a lot cheaper price. I imagine that's what most people, that's obviously what we do in this house, whether or not it's for tech stuff or just for your general perfumes or whatever the hell. That's what most people end up doing. So having a digital list or having a list that you can then go out and find in the big marketing shopping experiences throughout the year, that's obviously what people end up doing to try and save as much money as possible. So yeah, it makes perfect sense to have this conference around that time, just to try and maximize exposure. Not in light of E3 not going ahead because PlayStation would have done it anyway. But the marketing key beats starting as early as possible for games that will be coming out around the holiday period, whether or not they're going to be bundled up with a console that you might not have yet, is obviously something that they want to get in the shop window and get into your minds as early as possible.
So just looking then while you were talking that, because you was on about Prime Days and things, the rumor, because obviously Prime Day hasn't been confirmed, the rumored dates for Prime, obviously Prime Day tends to be 2 days because it starts early and finishes late because you're covering all time zones and so on. But the expected dates at this point in time are 11th and 12th of July. So you're getting that game, you're getting all your announcements in end of May, early June, Prime Day in July. Jobs are good.
Absolutely. Nice. Get them wish listed on Amazon if you've not. If you've not got a wish list set up on Amazon, I think you're not using Amazon right. Like I have so many different wish lists for like stuff for Joseph, stuff for my office, stuff, Samantha's presents, and just general house stuff. So obviously when they end up going on sale or something, I think you get a notification, but I genuinely just check my lists anyway just to make sure that anything isn't on sale. So yeah, that's how you use Amazon correctly, by the way.
I only have 2 wish lists, one for me and one for Danielle. So because I originally just had a list, and then Danielle was like, "What can I get you?" And I'd give her a link to the list, and she'd be like, "Oh, but there's like 4 things that are almost identical." Because I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I want the Go XLR, but I'll keep my eyes on the Go XLR Mini as well." And then there's another mixer as well. I'll put that in. Like they're all the same thing. Which one do I go for? So I made a not me being super nerdy sort of list that was a bit skimmed down. But yeah, I'll like just this morning, like I got an alert for a discount on one of my items, which is a fucking orthopedic pillow because I'm an old man, and it was like one new alert from Amazon shopping. It was like, oh nice, what is it? £5 reduction of the price of your orthopedic pillow. It's like, well, there you go. That's when you know you're an old dude. I mean, the thing is, my wish lists have some really cool shit on there, like fucking LED lights, XLR mics, fucking Go XLRs, PC, graphics cards, all this sort of stuff, and it's my fucking orthopedic pillow that keeps fucking going on sale. I already have an orthopedic pillow as well, so that's
it's just a bigger one for the couch. This is my cuddle pillow.
So yeah,
I don't know what happened to my voice. I got too excited.
Bibby's that dude from fucking Police Academy.
Oh god.
So yeah, anyone else wants to tune into a podcast full of cool people? You got Bibby going through puberty over there, and then there's me who's 50 years past puberty with my fucking orthopedic pillows. Yeah, feel free to join us every single weekday or not. Still waiting for my mum to buy me a PS5. 41-year-olds are allowed to get big Christmas presents from mum, right? Absolutely.
Yeah, when you're 50.
I have loads of wish lists. Nothing on them ever gets bought. I actually had I've had a run-in with wish lists in the past, though, in the fact that I can't remember if I added something or changed something or I was going to buy something. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was like I had a wish list and there was a Prime Day. Maybe it was a Black Friday or something like that. And I went to, do you know, fuck it, it's on sale. I'll go buy it. And then it's gone, someone from your wish list has already bought this. And I'm like, well, only Danielle has access to it. So nice one, Amazon. You've just told me that Danielle's bought me this for Christmas. Although you have saved me money because I would have just about to bought it and then I've had it twice as well. So yeah. I mean, it's good. So in that sort of sense, I mean, it saves you cash. It just tells you what you're getting for Christmas 6 weeks early. Didn't realise Amazon sold Lambos. I mean, how do you think Bibby keeps in business? He keeps them in business. That's the reason we're Twitch partners, because they give us mates rates because Bibby spends so much on them.
Absolutely. You can buy the miniature versions of my car on there if you want. I can give you the spec, so you can buy remote control versions of Lambos.
Yeah, that's a great shout, Bibs. I've only got one list of things I want for me. I'd best start setting up more lists. Yeah, I don't have that many other people. Do you know what? This is where we're missing the tricks as pro streamers. Maybe we're at that point where we create a wish list of things for people to buy us, and we just share that in the chat. No pressure, no pressure. But if you did want to buy me a brand new graphics card, here's a link to the wall. I mean, no pressure. But there you go. And we do it. Like, yeah.
Well, we tried setting up affiliate links for all the stuff that we use because we get asked about what we use all the time, whether or not it be in our home setups or in the studio, rather than just having it in our Discord. We got advertised heavily to sign up to the affiliate stuff, and then the pied us straight away. It was like they didn't even go away and consider it. They just went, "Nah, you're all right." But the things that they was asking for is the things that we don't use all that often. We don't use a TikTok account. We've got one, and it's probably got like 3 posts on it, but it doesn't ask you if you want to use Twitter or it doesn't ask you if you want to use Twitch. The two main platforms that we fucking use.
Twitch is owned by Amazon, but you can submit your Twitch account as your Amazon fucking affiliate profile. It's like, okay, what do you... So we stream on Twitch and we post about it on Twitter. Nice. What's the size of your TikTok following? What's that got to do with anything? We need to see whether your content's worthwhile. We are fucking Twitch streamers. You own the platform. Fucking... They sell Man United shirts on Amazon, so we could easily fix Bibby's current rather offensive outfit.
There's nothing
this
wrong
is all
with
I'm
my
buying you
Manchester
and
City
you'll
jumper
like it.
I'm currently wearing.
God damn it. This is all I'm buying you and you like it, says David, with his 27 months, 18 months in a row sub. Whew. Sheesh. Thank you very much. So that's 3 babies, that? Yeah. 3 babies, 2 in a row. Triplets. Cheers, David.
Love that.
Nice. I am so taking my... I always pronounce it wrong. I'm going to say Ilvez shirt to the UK, by the way. Absolutely. 100%. It's not blue. It's not blue, is it? That's Lake's local shirt.
Football team.
I'm going to say yes. I don't know.
I thought it might have been hockey or something.
Like Norwich.
Okay.
Oh, that's just a green and gold till we're sold. Let's go. Glazes out, baby. Man City 2023 FA Cup winners. Kappa. Well, there's no Kappa needed, is there, really? I mean, to be fair, if they win the FA Cup, that's a proper true underdog story coming to fruition right there. Love to see it. Love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Forever underdog. Against the mighty Man United.
No, it was. Did you not see it? Like
the Paddy Power thing, saying spending $2 billion and coming up, blah, 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 proper underdog story.
Oh no, that was in response to there was something like a few days before that. It was one of those like Total Football or whatever pure fucking football shitty accounts that had done the. City have just beaten Bayern Munich, multiple-time Champions League winners. They've got Real Madrid next, and if they beat them to get themselves like spot in the final or whatever it is it final? Or is it semis? Yeah, semis, yeah. So beat them to get to the spot the final. That's a true underdog story, and it was like what? I mean, don't get me wrong. To beat Real Madrid in the Champions League is an achievement and a half. But at this point, there's not really any underdogs left. Fucking Inter Milan and the underdog. Yeah, they're less likely to win, but it's Inter Milan. God damn. So yeah, that's where the banter came from. Anyway, careful swoosh with the FA Cup final. Bibby may order you a Man City one to stick in the middle of your United collection. No comment. Just keep it in the family. Ooh, hockey, floorball, and football. All of the above. There you go.
Football. Let's go.
Although when it does say Ilvez or Ilves or whatever, it looks like lives on my screen because it's like a capital L, lowercase, capital I, lowercase L, but similar size. My eyes read it as lives, but it's not lives.
Jesus. Yeah, it is exactly the same as the Norwich kit.
I'm going to have to...
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, it was a Norwich still sponsored by Lotus?
No, he's spending more of his time on Twitch now. A kick as well, so yeah. So yeah, this is the Norwich FC Ilves kit.
Ah, yeah, Norwich, Joma and Lotus still.
I don't have lives or even one life.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ilvez looks like lives. He does. It's the shape of it just completely tricks my fragile little mind. Anyway, back into the room. PlayStation Showcase potentially happening in May. If that is the case, then it could be a month away before we get the first PlayStation Showcase in almost 2 years, at least a year and a half. It was the end of 2021 when we got the last one, so I'm all for it. I feel like PlayStation, and I don't know if this is respective of management. I've seen a few people having this conversation before, and I'd never considered it until I heard other people saying it. PlayStation under the Sean Ladens and other flashier people of the world, Xbox under Phil Spencer, these are people that like to get up on stage with their collarless bomber jacket and t-shirt and jeans and trainers combo because that's all they always wear usually. And they go, hey, I'm a cool guy talking about video games and I like to be in front of here and I want to fucking bring Keanu Reeves out on stage and oh my God, yeah. But Jim Ryan's not that kind of person. Jim Ryan doesn't really he doesn't exude the same level of exuberance that these people do. And you get the impression that he's not a stage dude. He knows his shit, and he knows his best shit is not on the stage, so he doesn't really do that much, which is great. That's fine. But then you're in a company that's got thousands of people that could do that for you. Just because you're not good on stage doesn't mean that you don't do the stage thing, or even just have a video skit for like 10, 20, 30 seconds at the start. Say, hi, this is Jim Ryan, PlayStation Showcase, blah, blah, blah. Take it away. Bibby on stage, and then we throw to Bibby on stage. Job's good. Show goes on. But yeah, I'd not considered. I thought, PlayStation had just found themselves a winning formula. They realised we can cut costs, we can just do the direct approach, and we don't need the PSX, the PlayStation Experience, full song and dance, let alone a big PlayStation showcase. We could just do mini showcases. So yeah, I was thinking, they've just cost cut. They've just gone direct. They've just gone straight to it. I know their brand is for the players, or it's for the payers now, and that's just part and parcel of that. But yeah, I mean, it could be a case of Jim Ryan, he is at the top, and he doesn't do that stuff, so top-down leadership follows. And if that is the case, then fair dues, but it's been a year and a half since PlayStation, who is the biggest brand in console gaming, although they're doing everything in their power to try and stop that recently, it would be good to see them doing something to try and unstop that. So having a big PlayStation showcase where we get to see Spider-Man, where we get some Mortal Kombat stuff in there, where we figure out what is happening with Naughty Dog beyond the Last of Us Factions game that potentially is coming. Maybe we see that or whatever else, because we've had, over the last few years, we've got the Horizon Zero Dawn sequel. We've got the God of War sequel. We know there's 2 games coming from Insomniac. Then what? I feel like we're missing the next phase. So we're in phase 5 almost of Cinematic Universe. We've just finished phase 4. We just finished phase 4 of PlayStation. What's phase 5? Where do we go from here? There's no Days Gone. There's no more God of War. There's no more Horizon. There's no more... I feel like we need that big spaff. So hopefully that's what this is. Nice. Bibby, where's your glasses? Says Tito. We had this conversation earlier, does Tito. If you're the no one mod, you should have been in Brighton earlier to have this. So
absolutely, it's a disgrace.
Honestly. Do you know what?
They're right here, but I'm trying. I don't want to wear them all the time. Is essentially what I'm looking with, because I don't want my eyes to get. My eyes are going, and I don't want them to be too reliant on them, because I don't want to get to the point where I take them off and go, fucking hell, I need them back on again. So I wear them mainly not for streaming, essentially, unless I'm playing games, because I'll be sat here for like 4 or 5 hours.
We need to make a sound alert. It's not that at all. It's just super vain. It's superficial. He's like, no, that's it. Okay, you get the idea. Can you go back to yellow, Tito? I can't get used to a green name. Tito says no, as his name changed from green to blue. What a shit house. But I apologise as his name's changed back to pink. Tito wasn't in because arseholes were expecting him to do his job again. Fuck's sake, just tell him that you're the no one mod. Easy done. Imagine being younger than me and losing your eyesight. 41 and no glasses yet. Whoop, whoop. Same. Who said that? Big Zambi... Zambize? Nice. Yes, big... Zambi, there's a throwback. That reminds me of Cobra Zambi. Zambi. I don't even know all the context, just Cobra calling him Zambi. I don't know if it was like a story behind it or not, or it probably doesn't even remember. Just maybe I just remembered it, but there you go. Anyway, enough of that. PlayStation Showcase in May. For now, or potentially, obviously, say that with a pinch, it could be in June, could be never. We'll see. We'll keep you updated if we know. For now, what we do know, though, is that Dead Island 2 players are getting frustrated that Bibby plays the game on stream and they don't.
Stream on Friday, by the way. Thank you to all of you that tuned in, sorry, shall I say, because a lot of you guys ended up winning a copy of the game, so thank you very much for your support on that one.
Yeah. We did have a bunch of codes to give away, which we did during Bibby's stream on Friday. We said we had 2 for the Discord, 2 for the stream. We actually had 3 for the stream. We gave an early one for those that were in nice and early, and Spike and Tito had a big clash of heads, a 1v1, and Tito won. So we gave Spike a code anyway, because why not? 2 people in. If it's only down to 2 people in, like when you tell people you've got giveaways and people turn up for the giveaways, fair dues. But if you tell people you've got giveaways later and people turn up early, well, that just shows commitment then. So
absolutely
nice. Anyway, so we did give away a few copies of Dead Island 2 the other day, but it's not all peaches and roses. I don't know if that's the correct phrase, but I'm going with it. Nobody question it. We'll just move ahead. Dead Island 2 players frustrated that zombies keep spawning behind them. Dead Island 2 zombies are annoyingly stealthy. So Dead Island 2 players aren't happy with the game's zombie spawns, as they're apparently appearing behind players without warning them and jump scaring them. Much like the first game, one of the defining features of Dead Island 2 is that its zombies are a force to be reckoned with. Even though you've got a ton of tools to slice, dice, crush, and burn them, even one of the undead can be enough to take the player down if they're not careful. That's without them turning into sneaky ninjas and spawning behind players, and that's exactly what's happening to a number of players. However, over on the Dead Island subreddit, Redditor DVader shared a meme expressing their one major annoyance with the game so far, that the zombies keep spawning behind them and attacking out of nowhere and jump scaring them in the process. DVader said, quotes, like, seriously, I just arrived at the hotel and before entering, I tried to clear the area in front of it, and I kid you not, I see zombies. I turn around and back away a bit. Everything looks safe. I turn around to attack the zombies. I get smacked in the butt. Like I had 5 jump scares by this so far. End quote. They aren't the only ones either. Several other Dead Island players responded to the thread, sharing to share? It's the best way of sharing, really. If you're not sharing to share, then you're probably doing it wrong. Great. To share that they've had the same thing happen to them, with one Reddit going as far to say as it's, quote, the worst thing about the game, end quote. Not everyone agrees with it being such a problem, with some Redditors replying to the thread to defend the game and say that you just need some situational awareness and to look behind you every so often. Oh, imagine that. Imagine if you've checked front and back and then something pops out and goes, maybe just check behind you, dickhead. There's always someone better than you on the internet. You're the problem, not the game. I mean, it might be not the game, but it always, yeah, you get the idea. It's not just zombies spawning behind the player either, as players have also been complaining about how fast the respawn times are in general, and that zombies can fill an area too fast. Okay, we'll stop there. There's not much of the article left, so I don't want to take all of... Is it George Foster again? Yeah, I don't want to take all of George Foster's steam away, but I kind of like that, though. I mean, not the spawning behind you. That's a bit different. If you've checked your peripherals, you've checked your rear, and then all of a sudden there's something there that wasn't there before, that's not the greatest stuff. But zombies respawning, coming back in droves, that's kind of the intense zombie shit that I like. I don't want, like, if it's fucking them running at you, like that scene on 28 Days Later where you just see them bursting down the tunnel and you're just hearing all the footsteps and then fucking this shadow. Sorry, I just banged on. Did you hear that? Milo barking in the background.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Banging on my desk, Milo barked, and then Daniel's going, shut up! So, yeah, I love them just popping up out of nowhere and it being, fuck, this is intense, this is stressful, fucking me. Because that's what you want at sometimes, but not all the time. But I didn't play it. You did.
Yes.
Does this resonate with you? Did you feel like things were just popping up everywhere? Did you feel like it was too intense? Was it a good balance? Thoughts, babe?
I wouldn't say it's too intense, but it's weird because obviously I've been playing a lot of Resident Evil recently too. So a lot of Resident Evil is you kill the zombie, it stays dead. It doesn't respawn back. So if you've cleared a building, for instance, you can go back into that building knowing that there is no zombies left to be able to taken care of. It's your safe space. You don't need to worry about ammo. You don't need to worry about your heals. Whereas with this, it's more like World War Z. so that they're just constantly respawning. It doesn't matter if you've cleared one of the roads outside of the houses. By the time you come back and you're passing through it, they will be there again. So I'm getting used to it now. Obviously, they are there to be able to farm XP, and the more XP you get, the more difficult the zombies. The less they'll become difficult, but they do scale with you as well. So if you're a level 8, the zombies are probably going to be a level 8 or 9 as well. So I'm guessing they're there to be able to farm XP so you can level up faster and get better things or as you're going down. But yeah, I'm personally playing a lot of zombie games. I much prefer you clear a room, that room's done. But I understand for the mechanics of this being an RPG that there needs to be a constant wave of zombies, regardless of whether or not you've cleared them, because that's how you gain an XP. The more you kill, the more XP you get, the faster you'll end up leveling up. So I understand it for this purpose. If there wasn't an XP system in it, then I would much prefer the other method of if you clear the room, they're gone. You don't need to go back into it again. But I understand this. The spawning of them is a little bit annoying. Like who was it that's mentioned it in the chat? I think it was Spike saying that they're coming. Oh no, it's Tito. But they come through the sewers, so I don't see why anyone respawn behind you. So you can see them coming up through the manholes in the floor and stuff like that. So you've kind of got to keep your wits about you. Wearing headphones, I think, for this game is probably your best bet, or using earphones so that the audio in it is awesome. Like you can hear them coming from a mile away. If you're walking on a particular terrain, you can hear the click clapping of the floor if they're walking on not floorboards, decking and things like that. So yeah, audio is definitely key in this one. So yeah, it's just keeping your wits about you. But there's two different types of survival games, and this one definitely fits the RPG. You need as many zombies as humanly possible there to try and farm that XP as quick as possible.
Yeah, I agree. Shout out to Hambone, who dropped in the chat, by the way. That is a cool emote. He catches me every time. Hambo drops in, throws 2 emotes down. One of them is like his logo rotating. The other one below it is like a projectory hologrammy thing, and the two going together. Spawn. Nice.
Yeah.
Tito says, I am loving Dead Island 2. You fellas are legends. That's true. That's actually true. Bibby, have you got the Slaughterer's Claws yet? Because Tito says going full Wolverine is so much fun.
I did, yeah. I got them early doors, but the ones that I got was really low level, so the damage output wasn't great. However, the speed of being able to use it was quite nice because you can just tear through them quite quick. But then you got like the more powerful weapons, like the Adopted Sword, I think it's called, which is just like a giant fucking machete. It just takes forever to swing through it. So you got more power, but less rate of fire, shall we say, for the sake of this. But yeah, I did actually get some better ones as I've gone along, and they are definitely my backup weapon. But the electronic sword thing that I've got, which is actually pretty fast compared to the adopted one that I got, is definitely my main weapon at this moment in time.
Spike says, great game, but I did notice zombies seem to have COD spawns turned on. Amazing game, though. So that was one of the comments. You said that someone had mentioned it. And then he followed up saying, it's not the scares that bother me. It's getting attacked by COD spawns. Like, it's a genuine threat when you clear an area and then loads of zombies spawn where you've just cleared and you've just checked. Which I do get that. I do get that in terms of, like, it's like, what's the point? In that sort of sense, if they're always going to be there, if you clear them and then they just come back again, then I do get the frustration in that, because it's like there is no progress here if that is the case. All I'm doing is I am XP gathering and leveling up, but also all I'm doing is using all of my resources, my meds and stuff like that. So that does make sense. Maybe slowing that sort of stuff down is probably the best way of approaching that. But like Bibi mentioned, Tito said, there's a whole sewer system underneath, and if they can come up through the sewers, then that kind of explains why more are there as well. And in a zombie apocalypse, zombies don't come in waves, really. I'm saying it like it's a fact, like I've been there and we know this. Obviously, it's not real. But if it was the case, you wouldn't expect zombies to go, okay, we'll go out in organised bunches. You guys go first, and 3 minutes later, we'll rock up again. It'll just be like, fucking like a scene out of Starship Troopers with the fucking arachnids rather than zombies. So I get that too. It's finding the right balance of, air quotes, realism. I mean, it's a zombie fucking apocalypse in hell air. Fucking, I mean, realism's a bit silly, but still, you need realism for the grounding. It's that air quotes realism balanced mixed with allowing players to get suitably stressed and then have a relaxation / preparation time, and then the stress comes again, because if it just keeps coming like that, it is a little bit intense. But from my perspective as someone that hasn't played the game but did watch Bibby playing the game, I was always quite open to this. I've mentioned this a few times before. I think I mentioned it on my stream. I mentioned it to Bibby before we went live as well. So I worked on the first Dead Island social media, not providing the campaign, but deploying the campaign, and then we covered Dead Island 2's first announced back in fucking 2014 or whenever it was, E3 2014, I think it was. So 9 years ago, I was part of a social team covering that. So naturally, I had a very soft spot for Dead Island 2 when it finally came out. We don't work with, I mean, it's Play On now. It was Koch Media that we were working with back then. So we don't work with them now. So I don't have any actual obligation other than, that was a thing that I used to know a million years ago. But it's still soft spot. But then seeing, as I was talking to Bibby before the stream, seeing Bibby punch his fist through the face of a zombie and then have bits of its jaw hanging off and stuff like that, I was like, okay, Resident Evil was cool. This is more my kind of bag. Yeah, there probably is some bias for the fact that I've worked it and there's that relativity there. But it just fucking... I expected it to be shit. If I'm being totally honest, because 3 developers later, 9 years, countless delays, and the only reviews that I'd seen were from Kinda Funny, who said, yep, it's meh at best. Some crazy motherfuckers are probably going to give it an 8, is the gist that they were talking about it. But most of it is 8s, 7s and 8s across the board, and I see it completely in terms of It's not the greatest storytelling in the world. It's not the greatest graphics or anything like that. But everything that's there is just a good time. And if you go into that expecting HBO Max level of writing, then you need to check yourself. If you go into Dead Island 2, then and know that that's what you're going into, then it's an exceptional game for me.
Yeah,
so.
It's a game that I don't think it takes itself too seriously at all. But I guess if you've never played one before and you're expecting it's come out around the time of Resident Evil 4, then you probably are going to be a bit deflated by it. You're probably not going to have the best time with it. And I kind of funny are the guys that I tend to take reviews from, if at all. Because I like to make my own opinions with it. But in my opinion on this one, obviously it didn't resonate with them as much as you'd probably come to expect. But I don't agree with them. It's a hard disagree. It's more Dead Island, and that's exactly what I wanted from this game. Like you say, 9 years later, countless developers trying to work with this game. I think it's just a good time. I get it. It's a lot of it is a lot samey. Like there isn't much to it. Like you've got a quest here. You need to go and get this. You need to go and buy some fuses from this particular person because they're not available to spawn in the world, or I haven't found them yet. I have to go and keep on buying them to be able to go into a room that has much more loot. I get it. It might be a bit boring to people, but if you played the other ones and you enjoyed them, this is more Dead Island, and I am surprised after all this time that it is as good as it is, and I'm having a great time. But that's all that matters. If I'm having a good time playing it, absolutely.
So I watched. Or listened. I've watched the Kind of Funny Games Daily podcast. I listened to it when Snowbite Mike gave his review, and I mentioned it to Babe. Like he was saying, like the story narrative is just so poor and basic. Like, hey, I'm an influencer. I need you to go and kill some zombies to add to my fame, sort of stuff. And the way he explained it, I was like, yeah, this sounds tragic. But when I'm seeing it, when I was watching it, when like the story bits unfold as you was playing through it the other day, obviously we didn't get to that bit, but I thought.
We did.
Maybe.
Yeah, she was on top of the roof, and I had to keep on kicking zombies off it.
Maybe I was not paying attention. Oh, maybe I was doing the grabbing the codes and shit at that point. I don't know what it was. Either way, I didn't see you do it. But I don't feel like it's the greatest writing naturally but I don't feel like it's that bad. And also, if I click on this article again, there is a zombie here that is severely decomposed, teeth bent to feck, but yet he's got a chain around his neck still. His aviators aren't cracked and are still on his face, and his hair is all perfectly polished, while some dude with spiked knuckle gloves and a sword that's on fire has hold of it by the neck. If you're expecting BAFTA level writing after seeing that, then check yourself. So I feel like what I'd heard and what I'd taken for granted was it's a shame because it looked like it was going to be so great, and then we'd had Techland was it Techland to Sumo to Dambuster or something like that? I can't remember what the dev journey was. It was something along those lines. So 3 devs later, there's always going to be some bits, or there's always the potential for things to be not quite sitting right, or you're always behind schedule because you're expecting to pick up 33% of the game from the first dev and actually only 10% useful, or 9 years later you've switched from fucking Unreal 3 to 4 to 5 and it's like, so there's all sorts of stuff that could have gone wrong with it. So all of that considered, there was a bit where someone just wrote in the chat. There we go, Spike. Yeah, I went into it watching like this is gonna suck, and I saw some things that put me off, and then I gave it more looks, and then I watched Bib and was like, "Now this is a fun game. It's not going to break the gaming world, but it's definitely going to be a giggle. 100%. And there's nothing wrong with something that's going to be a giggle in today's day and age, especially if it's all action giggles that you can have with your buddies. Like Tito says, you definitely have to try it with friends. The guy I was playing it with was definitely trying to electrocute me on purpose. I tried getting my own back by launching a gas canister in, and it backfired and hit me. Exactly. That's the kind of weird, crazy, over the top sort of shit that you want. And I am very, very impressed with it. I genuinely expected, we've got some codes to give away. Okay, that'll be all right. And then I was watching it, I was like, do you know what? I'm actually pretty happy to give these codes away because this looks like a game that I genuinely would enjoy playing. And as such, I have it downloaded, ready to jump in. So just need to find some co-op time for me and Bib now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, tell that to the missus. She giggles when I take my clothes off. Feels wrong to me. No, Zambi. Where did we jump back up? Going full Wolverine is so much fun. Zombie game that is scary? No way. I know, imagine that, Lake. Imagine zombies popping up in zombie games. I mean, if there is random spawny bits, I get that, because if one zombie can just hit you and can kill you, and then that feels like the game's cheated on you, then you feel like, that's just ruined an immersive moment. I get that. But if it's just a case of people don't like zombies keeping coming back, then that's a little bit different. But yeah. I found audio annoying. I don't mind zombies spawning behind me, but directional audio is terrible.
See, I don't think it is. I actually think the directional audio is decent. Compared to a lot of other games that I've played where it's absolutely arse, I actually think that the directional audio on this is decent.
Is it better than PUBG's just left-right audio? Whereas if something's directly in front of you...
I didn't want to say anything, but that is definitely the game that I was hinting at, because that game is ass for audio. Bad.
It's perfect if you're looking north and someone's to your east or west. But if someone is north or south of you, they are in the same direction until you turn them to your east or west. It's like, are the shots in front or back? And the worst bit is like when someone shoots as you're rotating, they're either in front or behind or off to one of the sides. Oh, great, good intel, nice. Someone somewhere is trying to kill us. That's good intel in a battle royale. Let's go, boys.
Well, see, Spike said it's terrible on speakers. Not tried it on a headset yet. I genuinely can't remember the last time that I played a game through the speakers on my TV or through my monitors. The only way that I can play games now is through a headset.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's through my earphones or through my Astros or something like that. Audio for me is one of the most important things in video games, because if it's terrible, then it just takes me out of it straight away.
It depends on. I mean, there's not many games that I've played, to be fair. I mean, I tell a lie. The last game that I played through the speakers on the TV was, and still is, because I've not finished it, Hogwarts Legacy. I've been playing that on the big TV because Danielle was watching it. But I do have, shout out to Logitech, got these before we partnered, baby, a sub down there and 2 desk speakers there. So if I was to play a story game in this setup that isn't necessarily a battle royale or something like that, then I do have the bass and left-right audio to give me that sort of thing. So I definitely am mainly a headset user, but I would also play speaker sort of setup too. Particularly again like this, if it was just solos, then yeah, single-player games, I can take my headset off. Multiplayer, nah, I gotta have the competitive edge. God damn.
Gotta have it on.
My headset was awful. Sounded like I had zombies behind me, but they weren't. Anyway, maybe I need a shiny pair of Astros! Exclamation mark Astro. No, Philly boots or exclamation mark Logi if you want some desktop speakers. That's all I'm saying. Exclamation mark Logi. Let's go, baby. I think it's Logi. Yeah, it is Logi. Exclamation mark Logi. Nice. Okay. So Dead Island 2 has annoyingly stealthy zombies. Do you know what? If they are annoyingly stealthy, I don't doubt that it will be fixed pretty quickly. Koch, Deep Silver, they've been really good. Obviously, it's not developed by Deep Silver, but they've been really good at updating Saints Row, and so I imagine Dead Island will be the same. And the good thing is, as well, is when I left the office on Thursday and people were talking about the reviews of Dead Island, the conversation was almost like, do you know what? I think PlayOn might stick with it because Dead Island is a brand, like an IP that they probably don't want to give up on in terms of it's worth quite a bit, and having valuable IP is very important in video games.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how since Thursday tea time, evening, that is, if you don't know, if you're from outside the UK, that's outside the north of the UK, Thursday evening to Friday evening, I think for me, it changed leaps and bounds. I'm like, yep, absolutely, there should be a Dead Island 3 or another game in the Dead Island world. Definitely do not give up on that name. It's not soiled at all. I think it's an exceptional game. So,
I agree. I reckon they're going to have 2 pieces of DLC for this. I think they'll continue to support it for the next 18 months, 2 years or so. There's definitely a lot, because I feel like I don't think I've played it for that long. I've probably played it for 8-9 hours. And I feel like I'm like 30% through the story. And whether or not it's one that they want you to play through it with every single character, bearing in mind it's probably not going to be any different, then that's okay, I suppose. I'm probably not going to do that, if I'm being honest. I'll probably just complete it with Jacob and then wait for a DLC to come through. But I imagine they're gonna support this game for the next 2 years or so, whilst very slowly in the background starting to pull up ideas for what they could potentially do for a third one.
Yeah. I say tea time. I'm Southern, says Spike. Tea time? You have a set time to drink tea? You really are from Yorkshire, says Tito. I mean, ironic, he's got tea in his name.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
Coffee dough.
Tea time is the correct name for your evening meal. Correct. Spike knows. Okay, moving ahead to an article that we did move a couple of times last week, but we wanted to come back to because it's a game that potentially has airtime on ICU, and we know some people in the community are interested. Tito, for example, but Tom Ivan at VGC has this one. It says Ubisoft shows off the Division Heartland and reveals don't. Hey. Ubisoft shows off the Division Heartland and reveals Division 2's Year 5 roadmap. Mobile game The Division Resurgence will also enter a new testing phase this summer. So the article says Ubisoft reveal what's in store for us for its The Division series during a franchise showcase on Thursday. Viewable in full towards the bottom of this page, the presentation featured updates on the Division Heartland, the Division 2, and the Division Resurgence. Ubisoft provided an in-depth look at the Division Heartland, a free-to-play game for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox consoles, which is in development at Red Storm Entertainment. And this absolutely melts my brain. I don't get why they can't get PvPvE, and someone's decided to put the E in the middle now. So PvEVP. Why? What was wrong with PvPvE? God damn.
Yeah, I thought that was the universal standard.
Yeah. So the EVPVP, fuck it, I'll mix it up again. We'll move the E around wherever we want to put it. Focused survival action shooter is set in the rural American Midwest town of Silver Creek, which has been left in ruins following the spread of dollar flu. In the developer deep dive video above, Red Storm team members discuss early details on gameplay, classes, playstyles, and other game mechanics, and provide an overview of what players can expect from the game's upcoming test phases. Heartland will enter closed beta later this year, and players can sign up for the chance to participate. Ubisoft has also revealed a roadmap for the Division 2's 5th year of content. Season 1, Broken Wings, will launch in June and feature a new roguelike game mode called Descent. Players can sample the mode early by participating in a public PC test server beginning today. Season 2, Puppeteers, will feature a new incursion that takes place to the Merritt Estate for a confrontation with the Cleaners. Season 3, Vanguard, nice, just call it after another game that exists. Great plan. That's absolutely not going to confuse people. We'll see players return to New York City to discover new revelations about Aaron Keener and his rogues. And Season 4 Black Diamond will include new story DLC, adding fresh zones, main missions, and a whole new endgame structure. Each season will also include new manhunts, leagues, and events. Players will need to own the Warlords of New York expansion to access all new content, excluding Descent mode, which will be available to all Division 2 owners. Ubisoft also said the next phase of testing for mobile looter shooter The Division Resurgence will launch in the summer in select territories. And Android users for the first time, along with Android users for the first time, iOS players will get the chance to sample the free-to-play game, which features an open world and a PvE campaign. Not PvEVPVEVPVP campaign, playable solo or in co-op. Players can pre-register for a chance to do that. Nice. Lots of Ubisoft Division news. Heartland plus Division 2 plus Resurgence. Thoughts, Bib?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I literally just went onto the Play Store on my phone then to make sure that I'm still, because I played the Resurgence one last time, whether or not I was still in there, whatever the program is. You can go in for early access, register your interest kind of thing, just to make sure that it was still there, and it is, thankfully. So it says that it'll install as and when it's available. So I'm looking forward to that again. I really enjoyed the mobile version. It was a trimmed down version, shall we say, of the console version, which it was just more Division. I know there was a lot of stigma against the second one. I think it suffered the same thing as what Destiny did, where Destiny 1, by the very end of its lifespan, was just so chocker with content, all the missions, quests. People had these amazing characters with all this firepower, and then the second one comes out and it's just very vanilla, very basic. There isn't much to do on there. I think this kind of suffered from the same thing when the second one came out compared to the first one, whether or not it was fatigue or lack of things to be able to do within that game. But for what it is, Division 2 is more of the Division. The Division Resurgence is just more of the Division. So whether or not people have left it long enough to be able to jump back in now and be happy with what they're going to be getting from this, I'm not too sure. But the mobile version was great. I'm looking forward to seeing the Heartland version of it, the free-to-play one, to see how invasive it is with the microtransactions, because I want, again, when it comes down to microtransactions in video games, if it's a free-to-play version, I would much rather upfront just spend the 30, 40 quid and have the best experience that I can, rather than it being drip-fed to me. Whether or not the Battle Pass system, I enjoy, but when it comes down to campaign stuff, I'd rather just go, do you know what, here's 40 quid, give me the 4 pieces of content that you was going to drip feed as and when. Let me just get through it at my own pace, kind of thing. So I'm interested to see where we get to with this, because I thought the second one might have been the last hurrah with it, and then the mobile version came out, and I think that did well in its beta testing. The Heartland stuff with the free-to-play stuff is obviously blowing the doors off it for everyone to have a chance to be able to get in and play the Division, maybe for the first time. No one might have played through it before. So in terms of exposure and reach, this is the best way for them to be able to do it. I just hope that it's not a flop when it comes out, because people will just put it down. I think we're getting to a critical mass now where people have just become tired and bored of invasive microtransactions. So if when you boot it up, it gives you all of these incentives to be able to go, here's a starter pack for £25 and you can get 4,000 crystals, a different skin for your gun or something like that. I think that genuinely just put people off straight off the bat, and they'll just go, do you know what, this is what it's going to be like the entire way through. Yeah. I can't be arsed. I think it just needs to give you that taster. So maybe the first 5 or 6 hours where you're just going through, you're playing it and you're going, actually, this is really good. And they'll go, okay, well, if you want campaign chapters 1 and 2 and whatever else, £20. I think people might take the interest with that. It just needs to not be evasive.
No, I agree. Looking at the chat, Spike says The Division, Resident Sleeper. Swoosh says The Division was all right. Division 2 was a bit boring. To which Tito says, Amen, was a massive fan of the OG. The gear sets in the Division 1 were fun. The Division 2 gear sets are just basic, add X percentage damage. And yeah, same, really enjoyed TD1, says Swoosh. I think that's kind of universal. I think everyone would probably agree with that. And I'm saying this to someone that didn't play the original. By the time I got round to it, it had been and gone, and I was hyped for the second and didn't play the second. So I missed out on the first one and just didn't bother with the second one, because by the time I got to that, it was like, this is just a bit shit, innit, lads? Everyone that you knew that was all playing from the first one, you're like, I'm missing out on that group, and then you realise they've all given up on it because it's just not that great. As I said the same last week, I was hoping this Ubisoft Division roadmap, the Year 5 roadmap for Division 2. I mean, I've just called the discussion now. It says Ubisoft, the Division 5 roadmap. Sorry, I've just got slacks on my end. I'm not closing Slack yet, so hopefully I won't get any more coming through, but I've kept it there just to keep my eye on it, so apologies. That's me, not you. So I was hoping that this, I've called it the Division 5, Year 5 roadmap, although that's just for the Division 2. There is Heartland and Resurgence there as well. I was hoping that broadcast would do enough to not speak to me, but speak to the people that might play a Division 3. Because I feel like it's too late for me. I've probably already lost. They've probably already lost me, should I say, for the Division 2. Unless something miraculous comes out, unless something that changes the landscape. And maybe the Descent mode in the Division 2 potentially is the way to do that. But But the chances are for me, Division 2 Year 5 roadmap, okay, great. None of my friends are going to be playing it. It's not in my social circle. You're going to have to properly influence people to get them back in before you influence me to get back in and enjoy them. So, yeah. For me, all I need from this is it's good enough to speak to the people that have played the Division that can be the key opinion leaders and can have the word of mouth going into Division 3. So if it does that, that is enough for me. Resurgence, mobile game, that is great if you're interested in that. Once again, not massive mobile. I mean, I'm open to the idea of mobile gaming, not a massive mobile gamer. The chances are I'm more likely to play mobile games when I'm traveling, which means I'm going to have less signal, which means I can't play it always on mobile game, which means it's irrelevant. So great, nice.
However, your PS backbone, that will be compatible with this, so it just makes everything a lot more slicker for you, which is the reason why I played the Division in the first place on mobile, because I could use my Keisha controller.
Yeah, I mainly got the backbone because I wanted to use it for remote play for my PlayStation, but have it for mobile games too when I need it. But even then, I've not used it that much. It is actually a great piece of hardware, by the way. Same with the Razer Keisha. Great if you're into mobile games. Just the nature of my gaming tends to be that I need a connection, and if I've got a connection, I'm quite often at home, and if I'm at home, I've got 4 screens, 2 consoles and a PC in this room, so do I really want to sit there and hold this little non-ergonomic control pad thing? Maybe not. So Resurgence doesn't really touch me. Division Heartland and seeing what they can do with free-to-play stuff, like Tito said last week, as long as they're not cramming those microtransactions you brought up again then, as long as they're not cramming that stuff into it, and we see genuine passion for making the games succeed from Ubisoft, like we saw going into the Division 1, then yes, please. If we see the Ubisoft of the last 5 years going, how can we get money out of this? How can we make the game boring as fuck so people will pay us to not play it? Is a terrible business strategy. How can you fucking embed that into the Division and into Assassin's Creed? Because yes, those few people that want to finish Assassin's Creed will pay for it, but everyone else will go, FTSIO, please don't feel free that you have to type that because it'll probably kill the podcast. But fuck this shit, I'm out. Exactly. So yeah, hopefully it's good. But maybe not. We'll see.
I've just had a look now. It's actually still £25 to play. To play if you've not played it before, which I still think that's quite expensive. When did it come out?
5 years ago.
It was 5 years
March
ago.
2019.
So I think that might still be a bit steep, but I imagine because people are still playing it, that it's probably worth the money. But I feel off the bat, if you're not playing it on PC and you're playing it on PlayStation, that's still quite expensive. I bet you can buy it on PC for next to nothing now.
I wouldn't be surprised. We've got a nice bit of fuck the shit out. Let's go. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't give a fuck. I sang just to stop any potential DMCA stuff when we put this on YouTube, but hey, nice. I wouldn't be surprised if this has been included in PS Plus sales, maybe even been free on PS Plus at some point in time, but like PlayStation taking Spider-Man off the store because they're after a bit of cash, they've got a Year 5 roadmap coming, which will include new modes and new functions and this, that, and the other. I wouldn't be surprised if it's gone back up to 25 quid. Say up. 25 quid's not a lot of money to spend on a game, but it's not a lot. It's a lot of money for a game that's 5 years old, and you're probably not going to get 25 quid's worth of enjoyment out of it. If you are going to get 25 quid's worth of enjoyment out of anything, if something's worth 25 quid, it's worth 25 quid. So if you get that,
absolutely,
if you get that back, fine, fair dues. But yeah, no, I agree.
Just checking now if I've got it in my account, then it would have been given away. That's what I'm just logging in now just to see whether or not it's in there. I know I played this on PC when it came out.
I don't remember
PC the PlayStation.
redeeming it, but then again, I will have tons of stuff that I will have redeemed through PS Plus and whatever that I don't remember redeeming. So I don't know. I mean, they've got Heartland, which is free to play. They've got new content coming in the Division 2 plus Resurgence. I imagine they're hoping that the Heartland free to play will entice people in to then either spend money in microtransactions or will do that's cool, let's get a bit more. Let's buy the Division 2 full game and DLC packages because there's 4 bits. What was it? It was, see if we can find it. Season 1, Broken Wing. Season 2, Puppeteers. Season 3, Vanguard. Season 4, Black Diamond. Each season will include new manhunts, leagues, and events, and you will need to own the Warlords of New York expansion. So Heartland is just a way to get people into the game, and then there's a full new expansion as well. So there's lots of money-making opportunities here for Ubisoft, and hopefully they take that money and go, okay, this was cool. We've learned a lot. Now we've figured out how good content can lead to good capital, rather than how can we just rinse people, because that's the problem I think Ubisoft have had. So if they can fix that, nice.
That's in PlayStation Plus Extra. You can get it. You can play it in that. Oh, it's £24.
I enjoyed the Division, but it got old fast, and then they released Division 2, which didn't offer anything interesting for me. Swish says, the bit that really annoyed me about both games, I'd be pumping enemies full of bullets, and they just keep coming. Just die already! 15 headshots, sucks. And this dude is still going. Ugh, yeah, tragic. Especially in a world where people have accepted that extremely low TTK, time to kill, is acceptable. Your pixel perfect shooters like your CSGOs and your Valorants through to your battle royale games, people are happy with low time to kill. Games that have a longer time to kills, like Call of Duty, still have pretty low time to kills in respect of stuff. So when you come to a game where you've got boots on the ground, runner gunner, looter shooters, but people are just tanking stuff like juggernauts from old school fucking Call of Duties, yeah, it's like, nah, thank you. Honestly, I'm not sure it grabbed my attention. I mentioned it last stream, but not reworking weapon specialization is a massive missed opportunity. That could single-handedly make it more fun. If Heartland has some of the feel of the survival mode, I'm well interested. Red Storm, in my opinion, one of the more talented devs working on the Division. Sounds like you're divided on the Division. I know, exactly. Yeah. Imagine. Manhunts I ignore as content. It's simple bounties with audio recordings to progress the story. It's cheap content. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's something for me either. Fingers crossed they learn enough from it and then come back with just the big hitters for the next installment in the Division. Like I say, for me and a lot of other people, they've had their opportunity, and no amount of clawing it back will help. So stop, release a new mainline entry, but do it better. That said, having a good foundation for your next mainline is very important. So hopefully they won't learn anything, says Swoosh. Yeah, exactly. I was going. Hopefully they take the learnings and set themselves up with a good jumping off point. Even if it's just a diving board into the next game, a little bit of a spring, job's a good one. If not, it could just be even more fizzle and pop that loses money before they go into the next game. And then Ubisoft just gets bought by fucking Xbox or whoever because it's the way it's looking like it's going. But Ubisoft aren't up for sale. But we're open to people, buying or whatever, but we're not really up for sale. But if you wanted to put some money on the table, but we're not, okay, Yves Guillemot, we get it. You don't want to sell it, but if someone's going to give you a big wedge of cash, you'll take it. Fine, we get it, yeah. Okay, fine. Okay, we are going to wrap things up, but before we do, I'm just going to quickly go over this story because it's probably going to be old news by tomorrow. Tom Ivan at VGC says, Warzone 2 server issues are actively being worked on following player complaints. Infinity Ward acknowledges gameplay problems impacting Call of Duty players. So Infinity Ward has said it's investigating server issues that have recently marred the gameplay experience for some Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2 players. As noted by... Wow. Not only is it a hard word to say, Deserto, because there's an X rather than a C, but they've typed it wrong as well. As noted by Dextero, console and PC players have been complaining about bullet. Sorry, I apologise, Tom Ivan. I know it's easy to make a typo, but because I haven't done it, I feel like I'm immune to it. Yeah, I'm a dick. Okay. As noted by Deserto, console and PC players have been complaining about bullet registration issues, delayed actions, and significant frame drops since Season 3 launched on the 12th of April. After a number of high-profile Call of Duty members from the community drew attention to issues over the past week, so the Modern Warfare studio finally acknowledged them on April the 20th. Quote, "We are investigating reports of server-related gameplay issues and are actively working to resolve them." End quote. The official Call of Duty account tweeted, "The problem has been added to Infinity Ward's Modern Warfare 2 Trello board, where players can keep track of known issues that are being worked on. One prominent player had been voicing complaints about the issues in Warzone 2 streamer, Warzone 2 streamer Joe Woe, who earlier this week shared a video of his parachute failing to deploy." I'm not going to click play in the video, but I assume that's what's going to happen. Prior to Activision's announcement, Modern Warzone, which has almost 800,000 followers on Twitter, also wrote, quotes, "Call of Duty needs to publicly acknowledge the server issues with Warzone instead of promoting Black Cell, their new bundles, and Battle Pass all over social media." Yeah. Not a fan of that sort of shit. If things go wrong, things can happen, especially in a game as big and as complex as that, but to just completely ignore stuff... Read the room. It's like, dude, your game is broken. I know. Forget. it's not even I know. It's like, dude, your game's broken. It's like, hi, thanks for engaging in a conversation with me. Would you like to buy something? And it's like, no, I'm trying to say to you is like, I mean, I probably would want to buy something, but I can't because the game is broken at no. So you would buy something, would you? Here's these skins. What do you think of these? No, listen, you're not listening. The game is broken. I can't play it. We've got all these skins as well. It's just such a shit vibe. But a week later, they got there. So fair dues. It's slow in the grand scheme of in the moment, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a lot faster than a lot of others. So fair dues.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. So Warzone 2 has server issues. If you're playing it, just be aware that it has been added to their Trello board. If you don't know what Trello is, it's basically a project management timescale overview program. So you can see the fact that they're aware of it and they'll post updates and stuff on there and let you know when it's been fixed. Nice. Let's re-release The Division 2 in a new city and bore our fan base to death. Yay! Tito says, you belittle someone over typos, G? Most unlike you. I know.
It does it to me all the time. Don't worry about it.
I don't know what you mean. God. It's the grammar police. Wee woo. Whoop, whoop. It's the grammar police. Whoop, whoop. Anyway, that's enough of that. Thank you for joining us for another episode of The Scoop. If you missed the stories, I can give you a quick recap. We started off talking about a PlayStation showcase. Not one of the tiddly ones, but a big, spectacular. It's definitely happening, maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly end of May, maybe early June. We're not sure. Pre-E3 is the only way that Jeff Grubb has spoke about that. Obviously, industry insider, a little bit of a rumor, so take it with a pinch. After that, we spoke about Dead Island 2, which is a phenomenally good game, and it has no right to be as good as it is if you go off what people were saying about it 2 weeks ago. But it looks great. Bibi played it on the weekend. And no spawn, no ad in those things. I'm going to play it because it looks badass. If I'm going to play a game, then it's fucking done something right.
Absolutely, yeah.
Ubisoft shows off the Division Heartland and reveals Division 2's 5-year roadmap. Okay, yeah. And then Warzone 2 servers are having issues, but they're actively being worked on, according to Infinity Ward. Nice. He does it to me all the time, but knows I'm dyslexic. I thought you'd put a typo in there on purpose. That's the reason I was reading it slowly. I thought you'd put a typo in there just to make me like look at it, but fine. I'll let you off. Anyway, thank you for joining us for another episode of The Scoop. This is only the first of the week. We'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m.-ish. That was my WhatsApp, not yours. 10 a.m.-ish with another episode of the show from the studio. Nice. I mean, I say another from the studio. I don't remember the last time we did one from the studio because whenever we're both in the studio, it's usually busy as fuck. So we'll probably be back.
We've just had a meeting confirmed for late afternoon tomorrow. So
if we're not live by lunchtime, late lunchtime, we're probably not going to scoop because it's just the way it is. But do feel free to come back. The best way to find out is to obviously you can follow us on Twitter and stuff, and that way you get notified and stuff. So yeah, 10 a.m.-ish. Tomorrow, potentially, the next show. But before that, Mr. Bibb. Hi.
Hello, Graham.
Is there anything you'd like to add?
Yes. If you would like to help shape potentially the remaining 4 shows this week, there is 2 ways that you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, or alternatively, get involved with our Discord. You should all know this by now, but if you go into the description below, all the links that you require will be listed there. But all we need from you is the URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which might be at whatever time at some point tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day.
10 a.m.-ish?
Yeah, big-ish.
Yeah, 10 a.m.-ish. Yeah, so do feel free to join us tomorrow. Just drop a follow either on Twitter and you'll get notified when we tweet it out, or on Twitch and you'll get notified whenever we go live. We will be back 10 a.m.-ish tomorrow, and then same again on Wednesday. And then, normal routine then. Crates with Mates Wednesday evening, some scoopage on Thursday and Friday, Crates with Mates on Saturday morning, some Dead Island and/or Resident Evil and/or Skyrim and/or whatever on Sunday. Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm torn now. Like, do we go and continue with more Resident Evil, or do we carry on with more Dead Island? Like, we've got so many games flying around at the moment.
Yeah, difficult. I'd probably... I mean, I'd probably go for the. I mean, for me, Dead Island, because it's new and I enjoyed it more. But you're close to finishing Resident Evil, so if you box off Resident Evil and you can jump back onto the Dead Island stuff. So, but I'll leave it. I'll leave it.
You wasn't much fucking help there, was you? We're playing something on Sunday.
Do you want me to play the games for you as well as deciding what you're going to stream? Bloody hell!
Yes, absolutely, I would.
I want a co-op Dead Island 2 stream. There you go. Bibby and Tito. Bido. Today. That's your court name, Team Tiddy.
Oh no.
I've never noticed that before. That is fucking absolutely whenever I see you guys in the same stream, I'm gonna change the stream title to be Tiddy Stream.
we can never play together ever again.
Oh, fucking my brain just unlocked some gems that have been in front of me all this time. Fucking thank you, brain. I appreciate that moment. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. But do feel free.
Should we find someone to raid now?
Yeah. Do feel free to sit around while we find someone to raid. Sadly, we won't bring you any Tiddy streams today. That's at some point in the future. But yeah, feel free to stick around. We're going to drop a raid on one of our friends. We're not quite sure who.
12's on.
Do you know what? We've given some stick. Should we raid 12?
I think we should.
Yeah, go on then. Fine. From one Tiddy to another. Hey! So yeah, drop in on 12 with us. We're going to drop a raid over there. He's good people. He's good people. So yeah, we're going to go that way. Feel free to stick around for the raid. You will get extra sprinkles and we can help someone and their content journey by doing that. Once again, that's my WhatsApp that's going off. So do you know what? I think that's time for us to finish things up. Yeah. We appreciate you sticking in. Have yourselves a good day. Stick around for the raid. And until next time, stay frosty.